Yes, good afternoon.
Hello, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks to you. We'll get started here in a little while as soon as courtroom two is ready. Afternoon, Officer Milton. How are you this afternoon?
Everyone, I am well. How are you doing? How's everybody?
I'm fine, thank you. Do you want to go ahead and see if we can get started in
Yes,
this ACDC? Okay, who do we have?
position number 10, we
Okay.
have Miss Sanders.
Good afternoon, Ms. Sanders. I'm Judge Eric Mora. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Sanders, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. We are providing you with the services of a public defender this afternoon if you choose to utilize their services. Good afternoon, Ms. Kim. You're representing Ms. Sanders?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Sanders, you've been charged in case 24 CR 004566F with battery, family violence, and cruelty to children in the third degree, 2 counts. Afternoon, Mr. Howard.
Hey, six total. 2023 battery DV cruelty in the third. That's a $3,000 pretrial bond. It's 23 CR 007044F. That's your bond. 2013 simple battery DV dismissed.
Okay. Afternoon, Ms. McConkey. Is this your case?
This is Miss Allen's case, and she has just logged on to the Zoom. So if we could just give her a couple seconds to get situated.
Of course. Thank you. Good afternoon, Ms. Allen. How are you this afternoon?
I'm good, thank you. Couldn't hear anybody for a moment.
Okay. We are on position number 10, Ms. Sanders, whenever you're ready.
Thank you. All right. Miss Sanders was arrested on the 9th. This incident occurred, excuse me. There we go. This incident occurred on the 9th. If she was originally arrested on a simple battery family violence, which I upgraded to a battery family violence and added 2 counts of cruelty to children in the third degree. The victim in this case is Mr. Ludlow. The incident report indicates that police were notified by a 911 call, but also when the victim went into Zone 1 precinct across the street with visible injuries and reported that he had walked across the street to get away from the defendant because she was irate following his 911 call. Police returned to the scene with him. At the same time, other police encountered the defendant walking down the street with bags and multiple children of a young age. She smelled of alcohol and she had blood on her clothing. When asked about what happened, the defendant reported that her boyfriend, the father of her children, had gone through her phone and become angry and started hitting her in the head with a gun, and so she retaliated. Simultaneously, on the scene of the incident at the location of the residence, the victim, Mr. Ludlow, went back to the residence with police, reported that he'd been sleeping when he was awoken by the defendant, who was intoxicated, began arguing with him and repeatedly assaulted him with her fists. She then struck him in the back of the head with an object, a soap dispenser, which caused a bleeding wound. Children were present in the home. two children specifically, Jada and Katonis. I'm just going to say the initials JL and KS, spoke to police and reported hearing the incident, hearing banging on the walls, and arguing. The defendant was observed to have a cut on her finger and one to the right side of her head. The victim's lips were busted. He had scratches on his arms and a gash in the middle of his head. The victim admitted that he had a legal firearm, provided it to police. No blood was on the firearm, no evidence indicating it was used. He was handed over custody of the children, and the defendant was taken into custody. She denied that she was intoxicated, but proceeded to throw up in the vehicle and then pass out and fall out of the vehicle. Our office has been in contact with the defendant, or the victim, excuse me. They share 3 children. He reports that they stay with each other from time to time, but obviously this is a family violence situation. He confirmed the events and the warrants and said that there's a drinking problem and that the defendant gets like this when she drinks and has been violent in the past, but this is the first time she's called the police. And I believe he wants to continue contact, although the state would argue that that's not appropriate at this time, and he might not be best suited to argue what's in his best interest, seeing as it's been so short amount of time.
State's recommendation?
We would be asking for a level 3, Your Honor. The defendant has an open battery, family violence, and cruelty, 8 or 7 counts of cruelty, 1 for each of her children, 23 CR 007044B. That was also alcohol-involved assault on her mother and her sister. And so for that reason, and the alcohol, the same kind of incident, we would be arguing for a $6,000 surety bond or level, some kind of level that requires reporting more than a level 1.
Would you mind, I believe that was my bond previously, Ms. Allen, while I signed for the alleged victim, would you mind pulling that bond and see what the conditions were on that bond and what I gave her at that point in time, please?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Mr. Ludlow, I see you there. If you wish to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. If you would like to address the court, of course you don't have to, but if you would like to, you'll have to unmute yourself, activate your camera, and I'll have to swear you in. Yes, good afternoon, sir. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You can place your hand down, sir. What would you like to tell the court?
I don't want to press no charges or anything towards her. I would like her to be able to get out. You know, we can still continue doing what we have been doing. I'm just staying at my residence. She has her own residence. I've talked to her cousin. We have came up with plans so I could be able to go back and forth to work and everything like that. It's just, you know, it's just basically with the kids. I'm just worrying about the kids.
Do the kids, so you and Ms. Sanders do not live together?
No, we do not live together. She has her own apartment and I have my own.
Okay, and you do share those 2 children together?
We shared all 3.
Okay. Are you afraid of her?
No, sir.
And has this happened with you before?
Yes, it has. I didn't call law enforcement or anything like that before, but this time it was just, when it comes to being common enough is enough, really.
Okay, there are allegations of drinking. Is that what you know of?
Yes, sir. I know she drinks heavily.
Okay. Thank you for being here this afternoon, Mr. Ludlow.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Kim?
Yes, my client is actually a mother of 4 children, 3 of them. She shares with Mr. Robert. And Your Honor, she is gainfully employed at Stadium. She's been working there from 2017. And however, even though she is working full time, her income is still very, very indigent because of her 4 children that she has to support. And she does have high school diploma. We would like to request for signature on bond through pretrial level 3 and no further violent contact. Thank you.
Have you been able to raise that bond, Ms. Allen?
I'm going to see if case manager has a copy of it. I'm not able to access jail documents in the jailing screen other than the warrants.
Judge, what you want to know?
What the
I
conditions
will-
are, Mr. Howard? 3,000 SOB pre-trial level 1. Stay away. Third-party transfer of children. 1-day anger management.
Okay,
No, hold on. And this is with her mother.
I'm
No
sure it was
contact
no,
with her mother.
there was no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond, as is customary.
Yes.
Okay. Um, for the battery family violence, it will be a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 3. For each of the cruelties, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 3 makes for a total of a $7,000 signature bond through pretrial level 3. I want her to attend two Alcohol Anonymous classes per week and report those to pretrial. If she has not done that anger awareness class, I want her to complete that anger awareness class. No further violent contact with Mr. Ludlow, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Ms. Sanders, I'm going to give you the opportunity. The last time I ordered that you not have any alcohol while you're on bond, apparently, allegedly, you have done that. I think that if that's the case, that you need some help with that. I'm going to insist that you do go to AA twice a week, but I will let you out again on a signature bond. If you come back before me in violation of any of these conditions, I'm not going to give you a signature bond next time. You understand me?
Yes.
All right. Good luck to you, Ms. Sanders. You also, Mr. Ludlow. Okay, good
Your
afternoon.
Honor, I'm looking at the prior bond. I don't see anything related to drugs or alcohol on the conditions for pretrial services. Mr. Howard,
Okay.
do you see anything?
I didn't pull it up. Hold on, here it is.
Your Honor, I have a question while they're looking. You said 2 AA classes per week. Did you order any anger awareness? I'm sorry if I missed it.
She was supposed to complete anger awareness the last time. I want to make sure
Okay.
that she's gotten that completed. If she has not, then she is to complete the anger awareness class. You can add
Is
that
that
to
a 1-day or 2-day or what?
Yeah, it's a 1 day, I believe.
Okay.
No, it wasn't no alcohol or nothing on that bond.
Okay. All right. Normally we stamp that, so
Yeah, it's automatic.
okay. If it's not on there,
The stamp is on there. I just can't read it as well.
okay. Okay. Again, good luck to you, Ms. Sanders, and you also, Mr. Ludlow. Is Officer Milton, you still there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that everyone in ACDC with this afternoon?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll see you next time. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, in courtroom number 2. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. If you have any objection to your case being handled by video, please let me know when you come before me. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. If you do not have a private attorney, we are providing you with the assistance of a public defender this afternoon if you choose to utilize their services. Let's see, who do we have presently in courtroom 2?
Good afternoon, Judge Morrow. This is going to be position number 6, Mr. Johnny Cook.
Okay, good afternoon. I hope everything's going well.
Yes, sir. Marvin Arrington from Mr. Cook, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Arrington.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Cook, you've been charged in case 24 CR 004557B with pointing or aiming a gun or pistol at another, simple battery, family violence, 2 counts. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Yeah, 15 total. This is pretty long. 2020, arrest for fugitive from justice. Open case out of Tennessee, theft of property. Got open vandalism, another theft of property. On probation in Lawrence County. Entering auto with the intent to commit theft or felony. On probation for theft by taking, another theft by taking. Another 4 counts of theft by taking, trespass. Criminal damage to property, 2nd degree. On probation out of Chattooga County, entering auto, financial transaction card fraud, financial transaction card theft. On probation out of Whitfield County, criminal damage to property, 2nd degree, entering auto. I got criminal trespass on probation out of Catoosa County, entering auto, financial transaction card theft and fraud. Got warrants out of Dalton, Georgia, and Statesboro. That's all.
Okay. Yes, Ms. McConkey.
Yes, Your Honor. Officers arrived at the incident location 210 Fitzgerald Place, Atlanta on January 6, 2023 in reference to a fight call. Upon arrival, officers met with the victim and Quarla Cook, who advised that the defendant had called her 15 times and then came to the residence and kicked in the front door. The victim tried to shut the door, but the defendant gained entry into the residence, where he proceeded to drag the victim outside into the front yard. The victim then ran to the neighbor's house, who was one house over, but no one answered the door when she rang the bell. The defendant approached the victim, punched her, and then threw a drink at her. The defendant then went back to the residence, pulled a pistol out of his car, pointed it at the victim, and said, "I'm going to kill you." The parties are married and do share a child. Our office has had a chance to speak with the victim, Ms. Quarla Cook, who stated that they lived together at the incident location. She confirmed the events in the warrant, but denied that the victim pulled out a gun at her and threatened to kill her. She stated nothing like this has happened before. They've been living together since this incident, going through counseling, and have not had any violence since. She said she's not in fear of him and wants to continue contact and wants him to return to the residence. Because there was an accusation in the warrant that he did pull out a gun and point it at her, I am going to assume that she told the police this, and maybe she has just changed her mind since then. The state is going to recommend a $10,000 surety bond for the pointing or aiming a gun or pistol, a $1,000 surety bond on each count of simple battery, and no further violent contact with the victim. 1-day anger awareness, no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And I would ask the court to sound for the victim, Ms. Quarla Cook.
If Ms. Cook is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so.
Judge, I believe that she is on. I did get a text message from her earlier.
Ms. Cook, are you with us? I don't see anyone with the name Quarla Cook. Yes, Mr. Arrington.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, that Ms. Cook was not the one that reported this, that this was a neighbor or someone that reported this. And again, as the solicitor stated, they are still living together. They have a child together, and she is not afraid of him, and they've been co-parenting. I believe he was dropping their daughter off at school when he was hit from behind and got arrested. And so we would just ask the court to grant a reasonable bond for Mr. Cook in this matter.
Ms. Quarla Cook, have you joined us? Is this you on the iPhone here or not? If Ms. Cook, if that's you, you're on mute, so I can't hear you. So first indicate to me by shaking your head, are you Ms. Cook? No, you're not Ms. Cook? Okay, neither of you are Ms. Cook. Okay, thank you.
And just the warrant does state that the officers spoke with Ms. Cook directly, not a neighbor or anyone else. They spoke with her, and she is the one who made these allegations.
Thank you, Ms. McConkey. For the pointing or aiming a gun, it'll be a $3,000 good bond. For each of the simple battery charges, it'll be a $1,000 good bond, makes for a $5,000 good bond. No further violent contact with Ms. Anquala Cook, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Okay, anything
Thank you, Your
further
Honor.
Cook this afternoon, Mr. Arrington?
No, that's all that I have, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, have a good afternoon. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Cook.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, we're gonna go to position number 9, Ms. Fleming,
Okay,
Donna Fleming, position number 9.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
good afternoon, Mr. Ty.
Your Honor, you signed a consent bond for Miss Fleming, so she was not needed here today.
Okay, is that the one that I signed just a little earlier?
Yes,
Today?
yes.
Okay,
And
All
I
right.
am in receipt of it, so I already have it.
very good. Good afternoon, Ms. Fleming. Apparently, I've already signed a consent bond for you. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
So we just put consent button on the calendar.
Yes, I will.
Okay, who do we have next?
What happened with her, Your Honor? I apologize.
I've already signed a consent bond for her. Mr. Ty, can you recite that for the jail so that they know? Do you have that with you there?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe it's a $1,000 signature bond through the jail on each count.
Thank you.
Okay,
Next, we're gonna go to the add-on calendar, Your Honor. It's gonna be position 1 and 2 on the add-on. That's gonna be Mr. Bentley.
my 1 and 2 on the add-on are Hernandez. Am I wrong?
You know what? He's on the regular calendar. I'm just messing up all today, Your Honor.
Okay, you're fine.
Bear with me.
Okay, so 1 and 2 on the regular calendar, Aaron Bentley. Good afternoon, Mr. Bentley. You have been charged in case 24 CR 004561 F with theft by taking, and in case 24 CR 004562 F with theft by taking. So your history, Mr. Howard?
Yeah, Norris, do you know what his felony bond was?
25, 2,500.
Okay. All right, 17 cycles. Got an open burglary, theft by taking. That was this back in June out of Henry County. On probation in Clayton County for robbery. He has a misdemeanor bench warrant wanted out of DeKalb County for robbery. 2023 fling, suspended license out of Kansas. 2019 probation. 2018 ag assault, strangulation, cruelty to children conviction. 2016 probation, and 2014 terrorist threats. Simple battery DV first offender.
Okay. Ms. McConkey?
Yes, Your Honor. And Mr. Bentley is also position 3, 24 CR 004563 F, theft by taking misdemeanor.
Oh, thank you. I missed that one. I'm sorry.
No worries. For position 1, the defendant is accused of stealing $213 from the McDonald's located at 443 Moreland Avenue in Atlanta. He is a former McDonald's employee. For that, the state's recommendation is going to be a $500 surety bond. Stay away from all McDonald's locations. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. Position 2, the defendant is accused of stealing $190 from the McDonald's located at 3324 Northside Parkway, Northwest in Atlanta. State's recommendation is going to be the same, a $500 surety bond. Stay away from all McDonald's, no drugs, weapons, or alcohol. For position 3, The defendant is accused of stealing $134.32 from the McDonald's located at 7820 Sonoya Road in Fairborn. Again, the state's recommendation is a $500 surety bond. Stay away from all McDonald's. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Yes, Mr. Ty?
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 32 years old. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He is the father to 3 minor children, a 1.5-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 12-year-old. He did graduate from high school here in Georgia and earned an associate's degree from Atlanta Tech. He has been working for the last 2 years as a cashier at Target. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. He has, as you heard, the $2,500 bond on the felony case, and he also has holds in Cobb County and DeKalb County. I would ask the state's offered a $1,500 surety bond for the 3 theft by taking charges. I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services for the theft by taking. I don't believe that he can afford even the bond that's set on the felony case, but he states that he has a good address. He will be able to report to pretrial services. So I would like to ask for a signature bond through pretrial services, even if it's at level 3.
Okay. It'll be $100 good bond on each charge, makes for a total of a $300 good bond. Stay away from all McDonald's and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. He'll be on the SAP calendar on July 23rd. Hopefully we can address all 3 cases at that time if he does not get out of custody.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Bentley.
My apologies, Your Honor. What was the bond amount again?
$100 good bond on each charge, so a total for all 3 of $300 good bond.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next, Your Honor, we're going to go back to position number 4. This is going to be Mr. Abdul Brinson.
Okay. Where you go? Have a seat. Good afternoon, Mr. Brinson. You've been charged in case 24 CR 0045555C with giving false information to law enforcement, theft by shoplifting, and criminal trespass. Their history, Mr. Howard?
56. He got arrested out of 11 other states.
Okay.
We got an open trespass in state court, 2020 theft conviction, 2020 criminal simulation, 2021 assault conviction, and all the other states.
Patty?
Yes, Your Honor. The defendant is accused of stealing 2 cases of beer from the Quick Trip located at 630 10th Street, Northwest Atlanta. I believe the accusation states it was a Chevron, so that will need to be amended. The defendant had previously received a criminal trespass warning from the location. When officers asked the defendant for his information, he gave a false name of Reggie Jackson and a false birth date of January 19th, 1973. The officers were able to return the beer back to the Quick Trip. The state's recommendation is a signature bond through pretrial services. Stay away from that Quick Trip location. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Apparently he has an open case. Ms. McConkey, could you pull that bond for me?
Yes, I will.
If you don't mind. Yes, Mr. Ty.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 49 years old. He has lived in Georgia for 20 years. He is residentially challenged, Your Honor, and has been for some time. He does deny some of the allegations as stated in the warrant. I have no objection to a signature bond through pretrial services. I did talk to him about his ability to report to pretrial services, and he stated that he will be able to do that in person. He doesn't have a phone, but he can report to pretrial services. I would ask for it to be level 1.
Were you able to get that previous bond for me, Ms. McConkey?
Still working on pulling it up. Sorry, my
I
computer's
got
over.
it. It's 2000 SOB jail. You told him to stay away from Quick Trip at 630 10th Street.
Okay, so the same one.
Okay. So, Mr. Brinson, you can't keep going back to that trip, that Quick Trip, and me letting you out. I gave you a signature bond through the jail last time that you were here. I thought that I remembered your face. I need for him to have a social worker visit Mr. Ty if he didn't have one last time, so that we can assist him with some housing. I don't want to set him up for failure. I can't let him out through the jail again. I will, per judge, send him through pretrial, $1,000 signature bond on each charge, level 1, per the judge. So it'll be a total of a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial, level 1. Stay away from all quick trips, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Mr. Brinson, I'm gonna allow you to get out. Do not go back to any quick trip. If you come back before me, I'm not gonna be able to let you out the next time, okay? So I'm gonna let you out this time, and we're gonna try to assist you with some housing, okay?
Okay.
All right, so if you'll have a social worker visit Mr. Ty to help him.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Brinson, good luck to you, sir.
All right. Next, Your Honor, we're gonna go to position number 5, Mr. Brito. Hey, Ms. Kim, can you answer your phone? You have the interview.
Ms. Kim, are you with us?
Yes, I'm with us. I apologize.
Okay, did you have answer your phone? We've got your interview ready for you.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Brito, good afternoon. You have been charged in case 24 CR 0045556E with criminal trespass. Is there a history?
16 adult arrests. I got a resisting an officer, probation violation, and possession of THC. That was out of state. 2018 probation. 2011 second degree assault conviction. 2010 same thing. That's it.
Okay. Ms. McConkey?
The defendant is accused of sleeping in the emergency stairwell of the Marta King Memorial Station located at 377 Decatur Street Southeast while having 2 active MARTA suspensions. The state's recommendation is going to be a signature bond. Stay away from all MARTA locations in compliance with active suspensions. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Let's see, who's representing Mr. Brito?
I'm representing myself.
Oh, okay, so let's see, Mr. Brito. Let me just make Mr. Ty.
Yes, Your Honor. I did try to interview him. He declined public defender services.
Okay. Mr. Brito, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. It's my understanding that you wish to proceed without the assistance of an attorney today. Given the recommendation, I will issue $1,000 signature bond through the jail. You to stay away from all martyrs in compliance with the stay away orders that you have. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Can I say anything? Yes.
You can, Mr. Brito, but let me just say, you have a right to remain silent, and anything that you say can be used against you. We have prosecutors here that have charged you with this, so if you want to say something to me, I'm happy to hear it, but I just want to let you know that quite often you might say something that'll get you in any more trouble. But I can't stop you from addressing me if you'd like to do that.
I would like to say, I think this thing is a misunderstanding. I spent over thousands of dollars with the MARTA. I actually had reached out to the board of the MARTA, in proposal, to expand the company. So I mean, again, this is pending a 365-day suspension. I have 30 days before it goes enactment. And there is a immediate time where I can reach out to the MARTA myself and ask that the suspension be either totally done away with, or there's some type of terms, because it is the main transportation that's used throughout the city. And I do work a full-time job, plus I'm pursuing a higher education. So that's what's going on right now. To ban me from all MARTA, I believe they may, if the MARTA has reconsidered in 30 days and says, okay, we'll allow you to go to work and return from work, but no longer, if you guys ban me within that time period, then that will not be applicable for me in the MARTA.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to work that out before you can go back to MARTA, okay? So right now, you have a suspension from MARTA. So if you work it out with MARTA and you don't have a suspension with them, then you of course can go back. And so I'll make the order that you'd abide by any active MARTA suspensions. But if you work that out, then that's fine with the court. But you can't go back to MARTA until you work it out, okay? Otherwise, they're gonna most likely charge you with criminal trespass again.
Okay.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Brito.
That was 1,000 SOB jail, Your Honor?
That's correct, yes.
All right. Go to third row. Next, Your Honor, we're gonna go to position number 7. That's gonna be Mr. Cox.
Okay.
Mr. Cox.
And did you see Ms. Kim's request to have a breakout room with the interpreter for her client?
He doesn't need an interpreter, Your Honor. He speaks perfect English.
Oh, okay. All right. And good afternoon, Mr. Cox. You have been charged in case 24 CR 0045558J with simple battery family violence. Is there a history?
2022, 2023, 2024 probations. 2011 terrorist threats, interference with government property, removal of a weapon from public official conviction, and the 2010 ag assault dead docket.
Yes, Ms. McConkey.
The defendant is accused of forcefully grabbing his daughter, Zoe McCree, by both of her arms and dragging her violently across the living room. This incident occurred on April 21st, 2024 at 870 Mason Turner Road in Atlanta. The victim in this case is 8 years old. Our office has had a chance to speak with the victim's mother, Cheyenne McCree, who stated that the defendant came over to her residence to pick up the victim, and the victim didn't feel comfortable leaving with the defendant, so she asked if they could spend time together at the house. This upset the defendant, and he grabbed her shoes and threw them at her, demanding that she leave with him. The defendant then grabbed the victim by the arms, attempting to force her to leave with him. The defendant was yelling and cursing at the victim the entire time, and the victim has bruises on her arms as a result of this incident. The victim's mother stated they have not seen or spoken to the defendant since this incident, and she wants no contact with the defendant and the victim and wants the defendant to stay away from the residence. The state's recommendation is a $2,500 surety bond, no further contact with the victim, stay away from the incident location, anger awareness, no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And I would ask the court to sound for the victim's mother, Ms. Cheyenne McCree.
If Ms. Cheyenne McCree is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so.
Hello.
Yes, you'll have to activate your camera for me, Ms. McCree.
The sound went out. I'm not sure what happened.
Okay. I can hear you, but I can't see you.
I can hear you now. Sorry.
Okay. Are you able to activate your camera for me?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you, ma'am. What would you like to tell the court?
I would like him to be held accountable. He's a menace to society. He's terrorized me during pregnancy, which is, I have a long paper trail, and it's not okay to do it to your child. The words he said to her, what he did to her, has caused PTSD, bedwetting, nightmares. It's not okay. If you don't want to be a dad, I'm trying to look forward to getting his rights terminated. He never legitimized, but I don't want anything to do with him. He's traumatized my child. He traumatized me, and I still tried to give you a chance to be a father. You don't want to do it. For you to do what you did to my child is not okay. I think he gets off easy with a lot of things that he does, and I really wish that you guys would hold him accountable for everything.
Okay, thank you for being here this afternoon, Ms. McCree. And just to let you know, this is only a bond hearing this afternoon. The case will go forward with the solicitor's office from here, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, Ms. Atai.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 32 years old. He is the father to 3 minor children, and also has another child on the way with his wife. She stated that she would be joining the call today. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He's worked in construction for the last 11 years and currently works in construction on the Beltline. He does pay child support for this child, he tells me, $300 a month. So I do think the child is legitimated. He does state that the complaining witness has been trying to have his rights terminated, as you heard her say. He states that the complaining witness herself doesn't want custody of the child and wants to, I guess, transfer custody to somebody in Columbus, as she has done with her other children. Anyway, he does firmly deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. I do believe in Georgia, corporal punishment of children is not against the law. But he does firmly deny any violent contact at all with his daughter. He firmly denies the allegations in this warrant. I would ask.
Excuse me, can I speak?
Your Honor.
Ms.
And
McCree.
No, ma'am, Ms. McCree. Thank you. Let us handle it.
I've got it, Ms. Allen. I've got it. Okay.
And Your
Good.
Honor, I didn't get a pretrial report, but I believe I heard Mr. Howard say his last arrest, other than probation violations, was in 2011. He has, I think, no violent history, so I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services at level 1. No violent contact with the child, and a third-party transfer.
And I would just like,
Okay, Ms. McCree, I'm not going to litigate this afternoon. Okay, I understand that you have some discrepancies with what Ms. Atai has said, but we'll litigate this at another time, and you'll have the opportunity to speak with the solicitor's office and their victim advocate as we go forward. Okay. But if nothing further, ask for it will be a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. No further contact with either Zoe McCree or Cheyenne McCree. Stay away from the Macy Ferry Road address. 1-day anger awareness, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. All right. Good luck to you all. Who do we have next?
Next, Your Honor, we're gonna go to position number 8, Mr. Jordan Davis.
Good afternoon, Mr. Davis. You have been charged in case 24 CR 0045559A with loitering and prowling. History, Mr. Howard?
First.
Ms. McCockey, yes.
Your Honor, the defendant is accused of loitering at 3521 Camp Creek Parkway in East Point, Georgia. I believe that was the Sherwin-Williams. Since this is his first arrest, the state is recommending a signature bond and the stay away from the instant location, no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while he is out on bond.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Oh, hi, Ms. McLeod. How are you?
I am very well. Thank you for asking.
Good.
I represent Mr. Davis.
Okay.
And we are okay with a signature bond, Your Honor, if it could be through the jail. My client has never been in any kind of trouble. He tells me that he is anxious to get out so he can get to that interview.
Okay. It'll be $1,000 signature bond through the jail. Stay away from the Sherwin-Williams, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. I'm gonna let you out, Mr. Davis, but you're gonna have to make sure you show up for your next hearing and stay away from that Sherwin-Williams. Otherwise, you'll be in violation of the bond, okay?
Yes, sir.
Yep. All right, good luck to you, sir.
Your Honor,
Yes,
he had an extra charge of possession of marijuana less than 1 ounce. Was that NOD?
That was NOD.
Thank you.
Your Honor, that concludes my business before the court today. May I be excused?
yes, thank you, Ms. McLeod.
You're welcome.
And who do we have?
This is going to be position number 12, Mr. Walter Yu.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Yu. You have been charged in case 24 CR 004564F with loitering and prowling. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
No.
Oh, Miss Allen, yes.
Thank you. This is an arrest, an incident from 12:15 a.m. in the morning on the 9th of July. Police were dispatched to 2116 Lenox Road, where Mrs. Clippinger, Clippinger, who was a resident of that location, reported that a male had just scaled the fence into her residential area and was attempting to make entrance into her home and looking through her windows. She reported she had not invited anyone over and was not expecting any guests. And she provided a description. On scene, police further spoke with the victim, who said she had encountered the defendant a few days prior while she was checking her mail. He stopped and spoke to her and did some things that made her feel uncomfortable, like show her photographs of people being eaten by sharks, dead cats, and pictures of feces. She said she felt uncomfortable. Police went around to the location around the building, the residence, and the defendant came out from the bushes. He was sweating profusely, and when asked why he was on the property, he reported that he had come to assist the victim, that she needed his help, and that he was afraid she might hurt herself. He was described as frantic. Our office has been in contact with the victim. She has corroborated and confirmed the events in the warrant. She says, again, she does not know the defendant and was checking her mail when she encountered him previously. She is planning on filing for a protective order. We're asking for absolutely no contact and to stay away from the location. And we'd like to make it very clear that any further contact with this young woman or responding or, showing up at the location will result in aggravated stalking. We'd be requesting a $5,000 surety bond, Your Honor. I know the defendant has no criminal history. This is a very serious allegation.
Good afternoon, Ms. Clippinger. I see you there. If you would like to address the court, you can do. Now is your opportunity to do so. If you would like to, I'll need for you to raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, you can place your hand down, ma'am. What would you like to tell the court?
I just want to express my concern with the escalation in his behavior. I did not think the one conversation we had warranted needing to break into my backyard, especially to save me when I was definitely not in need of that. And especially there are other young children living in the neighborhood, and I know I'm an adult and able-bodied, but I know I look very young, and it concerns me that he would see someone youthful and engage in this kind of behavior. I just worry for other people in the neighborhood is all.
Okay. Thank you for being here this afternoon, Ms. Clippinger.
Thank you for having me.
Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 30 years old. He has been here in Georgia for the last 3 years. He moved to Georgia to go to law school at Emory University. He was there studying to be a lawyer for about a year, and he's taking a break from the school right now, working as of now. He does have a bachelor's degree, Your Honor, from Boston College. and we would like to request for signature on bond. This is his first arrest ever. I guess there was apparently misunderstanding, and nobody was harmed, and he has no objection to stay away or no further contact.
Okay. It'll be a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial, level 1. No further contact with Ms. Clippinger. Stay away from the Lenox Road address. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. And Mr. Yu, just so I can make it clear with you what no contact means. No contact means no contact whatsoever. No, obviously, no personal contact, no email contact, no internet contact. If you have any type of contact or if you go to that location, you'll be in violation of this bond and it will be revoked. Okay? And Mr. Patrick, I've seen that you've been here with us since the beginning of court. I take it that you're a relative?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor.
And would you like to address the court this afternoon?
Yes. I've not been in contact with my brother for about.
Hold on.
I have an objection.
Mr. Yu, I have already given your brother a signature bond in this matter. If you have anything that relates to the actual charges or something of that nature, I'm happy to hear about from you in that regard.
Okay.
Okay, but so do you have something that you need to tell the court?
He's mentally unwell and needs assistance.
Okay, and that's what Mr. I've got it, Ms. Kim.
Okay.
I don't want to discuss that over.
Okay, understood.
We're on YouTube, and I don't want to place that information
Understood.
out for everyone. But I understand your concern, Mr. Yu, and I thank you for being here this afternoon. Okay. Good luck to you, Mr. Yu.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Next, Your Honor, we're gonna go to position number 5 on the add-on. Mr. White.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. White. You've been charged in case 24 CR 004571E with battery family violence, 2 counts. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
14. Resident of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Had felony charges, interference with government property, criminal damage to property. On probation for felony obstruction, 2 counts. Last arrest was June 6th for criminal damage to property, 2nd degree, and obstruction. Those were dismissed. That was in Fulton County. 2023 probation, 2018 failure to appear. 2017 probation, 2016 obstruction conviction. 2018 assault conviction, 2018 failure to appear. 2017 probation violation. And a 2014 interference with government property conviction.
Your Honor, I meant to ask for actually breakout room for MH issue. I
Okay.
apologize for bringing it up late.
Do you want us, would it be easier to hold this till the end of the calendar?
We can do that, Your Honor.
No, yeah, let me know what you want me to do, Norris.
Yeah, we're gonna hold this to the end of the calendar.
Okay, all right. We'll be back with you, Mr. White.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Third row. We're gonna go to position 1 and 2 on the add-on, Mr. Hernandez.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Hernandez. You have been charged in case 24 CR 004569G with giving false information to law enforcement, and in case 24 CR 004570G with bicycle ridden on the right side of a roadway. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Norris, you know what that felony bond was?
Looks like 85. It looks like
23 total, 2021 possession of a schedule 3, 4, or 5 controlled substance. Possession of drug-related objects, drugs not in original container. Got an open CIT case for suspended license, failure to report, failure to maintain lane, and improper lane change. 2021 FTA, 2021 trespass conviction. 2021 DUI, failure to maintain lane, suspended license conviction.
We're having a hard time.
2020 suspended license, fleeing, attempt to elude. 2019 FTAs. You can't hear me?
You break it up.
You were breaking up.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
What's the last thing you heard?
2019.
2 FTAs.
Okay.
And that's all. I guess jail would be recommendation with these charges. But
Oh,
it's,
what did he go to felony for this?
burglary, criminal damage to property, sale of marijuana, and possession of a Schedule 1.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Allen, is this your case?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. Mr. Hernandez has 2 cases on the add-on. The first case dealing, oh no, that's a felony warrant. Hold on. First case, simple battery against a police officer.
I have given false information.
I do too.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay. This is an incident from January the 16th of 2024. So obviously a delayed arrest in this case with multiple cases now being created, Your Honor. At 2 p.m. on Holcomb Bridge Road and 400 southbound, police were handling an aggressive panhandling incident in that area. During that incident, one of the offenders, Mr. Hernandez, provided a wrong name. He said his name was Jose Hernandez and advised a wrong date of birth. He said his date of birth was 3/20. 90, when in fact his birthday is 6/28/92. Looks like he's got a brother and has been using that gentleman's information. That information was provided to the police as part of this. He used his brother's information and provided his information, wrong information, with the intent to mislead police and obscure his identity when issuing him a citation for his behavior on that day. The other case, one moment. Occurred on May the 30th of 2024 at 9:02 p.m. Again, Holcomb Bridge Road in Roswell, on the side of the road, riding his bicycle on the right side at an intersection there, Holcomb Bridge Road and Old Dogwood Road. He entered into the crosswalk and caused a motor vehicle accident with a white Ford van. Made admissions to police on the scene. He had injuries. And it was determined he was at fault after an investigation. That's the information I have about this gentleman. We'd be asking for $1,000 signature bond on each of the cases, Your Honor, and defer to the pretrial level.
Kim? You're on mute, Ms. Kim.
Thank you. My client is 32 years old, Your Honor. He is gainfully employed right now as a janitorial services he's providing. He's been doing that for about 7 years. He does have a GED, been here in Georgia all his life. Because of his injury, his left shoulder, he is not able to work that much, so his income has significantly dropped. He's qualified for public defender services. He does not have enough funds to make any bond payment. These are very minor incidents, Your Honor. We would like to request for a signature on bond through jail. Bicycle ridden on right side of roadway. This is my first time ever seeing actually somebody getting arrested for this kind of charge. So that's about it, Your Honor. Thanks.
Okay, for each charge, it'll be a $500 signature bond through the jail. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. So it's a total of $1,000 signature bond through the jail.
Thank you.
Good luck to you, Mr. Hernandez.
Next, Your Honor, we're gonna go to add-on 4, Mr. Owens.
Good afternoon, Mr. Owens. You've been charged in case 24 CR 004567G with simple battery. Is there a history, Mr.
Can you hear me?
Howard? I can hear you, yes.
2017 probation. He got several probations in his history. I didn't see any violence. Jail was a recommendation.
Yes, Miss Allen.
Thank you, Your Honor. I missed the recommendation from pretrial. Mr. Howard, can you say it again?
It was jail.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Your Honor, this is an incident that occurred at the airport, 2020 Convention Center concourse. Assault on a stranger was reported. Police made contact with the victim in this case, Chavez Elicio, Chaves. Elicio is Elisio. He reported getting into a verbal argument with someone and being punched in the face. Police located the defendant matching using the description provided by the victim. He was on a bus or shuttle related to the airport. And was located. He made admissions to punching someone and an altercation that got physical. There's a third-party witness who came forward and reported what they saw. That person's name is Daryl Sharp, Sharpe, Your Honor. The history does not include anything violent, but does include substance abuse. And so we would be asking for no drugs, alcohol, or weapons, and a $2,000 signature bond through the jail pre-trial.
If Mr. Elicio is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so.
We tried to reach out and had not been successful at this point.
Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. My client was actually attacked by a homeless man. That's why he doesn't have any address or phone number. My client was working as a chef, and he was coming out of work and rode a bus. He denies the allegation. We would like to request for UJRJ. My client has a place to live, and he has he's gainfully employed. He does have some college education as a culinary chef. Your Honor, I think that there was a huge misunderstanding that indeed he was a victim. So we would like to request for a signature on bond through jail. Thanks.
Okay. It'll be a $2,000 signature bond through the jail, no further contact with Mr. Elicio, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Owens.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I believe that we have a translator. However, we do not need a translator anymore. I apologize.
Yeah, this is position number 11, Mr. Tabacoli.
Okay, thank you for being here this afternoon, Madam Interpreter. It appears that we do not need your services, but I thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Honor.
Have a good afternoon.
You too.
Good afternoon, Mr. Trabacoli. You have been charged in case 24 CR 004565E with theft by shoplifting. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
7. 2019 theft by taking, criminal trespass. 2014 computer trespass, and 07 shoplifting conviction.
Yes,
That's
Mr. Howard.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is a single shoplifting charge for a date range from January the 4th, 2024 through January the 23rd, 2024 at the Home Depot, located at 1580 Holcomb Bridge Road. Police responded on the 13th of January and spoke to loss prevention officers there at that Home Depot who reported that they had recently encountered a gentleman going through the self-checkout and concealing items, paying for one small item, and then walking through without paying for larger, more expensive items. As a result, they conducted an investigation, reviewed the credit card number associated with the defendant, all the transactions that he'd done in their system, and then went and reviewed video footage that matched the transactions. There are a total of 4 transactions between the 4th and the 23rd, totaling less than $500. 4 incidences. I think the total was $448.82. All construction materials, self-leveling underlayment, sanding belts, caulking. Those loss prevention videos and information were provided to officers from Roswell who reviewed and obtained warrants. The defendant was arrested on July the 9th. He has got a substantial history for theft and shoplifting. And so for this reason, we would ask for a stay away order for a $3,000 SOB through pretrial with supervision. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Ali Tavakoli is 38 years old. He has been here in Georgia for more than 20 some odd years. He went to Kennesaw State University College for computer science bachelor's degree, and he has been working as a software engineer. And Your Honor, he's not qualified for public defender services, and he denies the allegation. I believe that last time that he was ever in trouble with the law was more than 10 years ago, 2007. And he believes that there was some kind of mistakes, no intention of stealing anything. And we would like to request for a signature on bond through jail. Thanks.
It'll be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Stay away from the Home Depot on Holcomb Bridge Road, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I just have one quick question about Mr. Charles Evans. He was on a pull sheet, but he's not on the calendar.
Mr. Evans was reviewed for the PAD program, but declined that request. So we'd ask for it to be put on an add-on for tomorrow. I don't believe it's a Riverside issue at this point. We're also completely prepared to go ahead and file the accusation. We got notice that he declined the PAD services right before court. So we were just holding for directive from the court.
Your Honor, I wasn't aware that he was referred to PAD. I don't want him to stay in jail another night.
Well, we can go ahead and file down the accusation and discuss if you'd like.
Okay.
In
Who is
case
this
it's being
again?
reviewed and prepared.
Who is this?
Charles Evans.
Okay, Evan. Okay.
Yeah,
Are we able to get him, Norris?
he's right here, but he
Okay.
said that he would have took Pad, he just didn't understand. He said he would have, signed up with Pad, but he just didn't understand.
You want to talk to him, Mr. Ty?
Well, I didn't know that he was referred to Pat, and I interviewed him, and I am ready to move forward, but I do think that he would benefit from the PAD program, but they are hesitant to accept once somebody's declined. He does have housing issues, and I think he would benefit, but I don't think PAD will take him once he's declined.
I would request that they reevaluate that and would support you in a recommendation. Whatever you need from me.
Thank you. But I think that it's late for that now. And I mean, he's here on a loiter prowl. So, and I do believe that the complaining witness or the owner of the business at that location was on the call earlier, and I have been in contact with them.
Okay, well, you all tell me what you want to do.
I think it's best to move forward because he'll spend another night in jail otherwise.
I'll need an add-on calendar, or I'll need the case number. And I guess we'll need to have that accusation filed down. So can we go to somebody else while we do that?
It's happening now. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, in the past, we will get him released today, and yet maybe tomorrow he can still go to PAD. We've done that in the past, so I was wondering if he can do that today too.
If you give me just a moment, I'll call Drew and see what she says. I didn't know even that he was referred or interviewed by PAD.
Well, we normally have someone from PAD on. I don't know why we don't this afternoon, but if you want to go ahead and call Mr. Ty and see if they can jump on with us, or see if they will accept him. That's fine with me.
Thank you.
Okay. Who do we have?
This is, the add-on number 5. You want to do a breakout? There's no one in the courtroom, Your Honor. I cleared it out. It's up to you guys.
Okay. And these other ones, are they waivers?
Yes, we have,
Add-on 5. No, I'm sorry, add-on
3.
3.
3, that's Angela Morrow. Yes, she's a waiver.
Okay. So,